What time is it? It's Packard Folks at time. Hat? Check. Shirt? Check. Pants? Optional. Mug? Double check. Check us out at cafepress.com/PackardPokesat where you can get all this great merchandise and more.
Do you like Packard Pokesat and want to hear it on demand and on the go? Download the free app today at Stitcher.com. Available on iOS, Android, Nook, and iPad.
This is Packard Pokesat, and I'm poking at your news. Hello, everybody. This is Packard Pokesat, the midweek show. This is season 6, episode 14. Pumpkin spice everywhere. This time of year, I'm seeing more and more things with pumpkin in it. I mean, it's not to be unheard of, but I mean, pumpkin spice Cheerios? Really? Should that be a thing? I don't know. Matt, what stories have you got first tonight?
Oh, yes, I do.
Okay.
This is a good one, actually.
Okay.
It is a story about Trump and Mitch McConnell having Russian flags thrown at them.
I heard about this.
Yeah, I actually heard about it, too. There's a picture here. Russian flags were thrown at them as they arrived for the Republican state lunch. Pictures are capable of capturing the mood of a nation better than words ever could. This is one of those moments as smiling Mitch McConnell and thumbs up Donald Trump are reminded of what they did to win an election as Russian flags fly toward them. McConnell has been one of the cover-up artists for Trump in the Russia campaign.
Yeah, you know what's interesting is the fact is that someone was able to get these into the Oval Office or wherever they were at. I don't know if it's Oval Office. It's somewhere where they're on their way to, the Senate lunch. I'm pretty sure that eventually they're going to ban anybody from bringing in flags now because of this kind of stuff. At least it wasn't shoes. I mean, there have been a lot of instances where previous presidents like President Bush were at certain state functions and someone had actually thrown shoes at them. It's kind of interesting that the fact is that they're throwing flags. I wish they would have had video of this. That would have been more awesome to see, actually. Apparently, Mitch McConnell is still working hard to cover up Trump's crimes. They say a picture's worth 1,000 words. In this case, one stolen presidential election. I still think that's pretty funny. Mitch McConnell standing there with a goofy-ass grin on his face. The man has no neck. I apologize, everybody, that my co-host here is having some technical issues tonight. In the meantime, there are some other stories here that I wanted to discuss. This is not how our shows usually go off, but, hey, these things happen. Speaking of the election real quick here, there was a big controversy about Twitter being probably an integral part, and Facebook, of course, with paid ads from who knows where. And Facebook has not done anything about it, really, but Twitter has decided to step up on this. What they're going to do is they're launching a advertising transparency center. They should have done that like long ago, where they should be able to see the ads running on Twitter. Now, the content and the creator of those ads and how long they've been running and which ones are targeted specifically at you. Anyone can report an ad as inappropriate, saying that they don't like it, which is, I think, is kind of nice. Now, it also says they'll be shining a spotlight on political ads, specifically ads in support of party or candidate. Those quote-unquote engineering ads will be redesigned so that users can identify them as such. There's also a special section of the transparency, which is going to be basically, it's going to show who's paying for the bill and where the where the ad is coming from. If you come across an ad on Twitter, and if you're on Twitter, you're still going to be getting those ads. It's going to say who those ads are from. So, which I think is a pretty decent thing to do. I mean, in light of everything. So we don't have this happen again. Although, it's not impossible for them to lie, So they could basically make an ad for, I don't know, Trump or whoever and say that they are a political PAC or something that's not affiliated with them, I think it would be more interesting to find out if they display their IP address, all that. Maybe not, because the IP address can be spoofed. And if they can be spoofed, then they could be showed that they came from anywhere and on the planet, actually. So that might not even work either. So I'm not really sure the best way to handle this would be. Of course, if you would have a thought on this, leave your comments below. So what are your thoughts? If you've been following the show for any amount of time, you'll know that I like Apple products. I have an iPhone, and I've had Apple products for like a better part of my life. And the co-founder, Steve Wozniak, who's of Apple, who's not with Apple anymore, obviously, but he said he will not be buying the latest Apple iPhone that's coming out is the Apple 10 or Apple X, the iPhone X, I should say. He says he's happy with his iPhone 8, which is the same as a 7, which is the same as a 6 to him. The iPhone 10 unveiled in September features edge-to-edge 5.8-inch bright, sharp display with a small chassis than an iPhone 8 Plus. It also has facial recognition, which we've discussed a variety of things that might be able to override that. I mean, like I said a while back, they could unlock the phone by you just looking at it. So I don't know if they could just hold the phone up to your face and have it unlock without your permission one way or the other. So I think there's some security issues there. But he was also skeptical of the Face ID would work the way it's supposed to, which I kind of also mentioned here too as well. So, and I'm kind of with him on that part. Now, the sales are opening on October 27th, which is a few days from now. So if you're interested in getting this phone, I would like to see somebody that actually has one and like to have someone saying what they like about it. Does the facial features actually work at that point? And is it consistent, or do you have to be doing anything in particular to try to fool it or whatever? I don't know. It's interesting. It's interesting. I would like to see one of these phones working. Scientists are saying that your brain is still working after you die. Well, shortly thereafter anyway. According to a team of scientists in New York, the human brain is still very active after death, which means there's a chance you could actually hear your own death being announced by medics someday. Dr. Sam Parnia and her colleagues from New York University Langone School of Medicine have been studying patients who have theoretically died from cardiac arrest or had a heart attack, meaning their heart stopped, but they were revived later. Technically speaking, you get the time of death. It's all based on the moment when your heart stops. But according to Dr. Panera, in several cases, patients who have been, quote unquote, brought back were able to recall conversations and visual details that were going on. While technically being dead, they were later verified by medics who were present at the time. This might actually explain some of the after-death experience stuff. So that's just a weird thing. They describe
a little weird.
Yeah, they describe watching doctors and nurses working well. They describe having awareness of full conversations, of visual things that are going on that would otherwise not be known to them. I'm thinking this might be one of those things where they say they're doing the after death thing.
Well, that's a good possibility.
Yes. Matt, you had another story for us.
Yes, I do.
Okay.
There's a man in Montreal, Canada. He's facing a $117 traffic ticket for just singing in his car. Mola was driving home and singing along to Gonna Make You Sweat, a 1990 dance music by CC Music Factory. You know, the one that goes, everybody dance now.
Oh, yeah, I know that song.
And so he was just listening to it in his car and singing, and the police pulled him over. 4 of them pulled him over.
4 people? 4 cops pulled him over.
4 of Montreal's finest came up to look in Mola's car and asked him what he was doing. After he replied nothing, one officer asked him, "Did you scream loudly?" He told the officers, "No, I was just listening to my favorite song," and then had repeated the catchphrase, "Everybody dance now." After police checked Mola's license and registrations, they came back with the traffic ticket, finding him 149 Canadian dollars or $117 in American for screaming in his car. Nearly a month later, Mola is still shocked by the charge. "I don't know if my voice was very bad. That's why I got the ticket, but I was very shocked. I understand if they're doing their job, they're allowed to check if everything is okay, if I kidnap someone or if there is danger inside, but I never expected they would give me a ticket for that."
That's beyond the pale of ignorance on their part. It's really odd to have the police pull you over for that. I mean, in this city, we have noise ordinances, but during certain times of the day. If this guy was, singing in his car, at a later hour than in the night or something, I could see someone, complaining about him playing loud music.
Right.
I don't think they can legally have him ticketed for singing in your car. That just doesn't make any sense.
No, it doesn't make any sense either. I don't know why. I mean, because, I can see if you're playing your music too loud. I know people around here in my area have gotten pulled over for that because, it was super, super loud. But for singing in your car?
Yeah.
No, that just doesn't make any sense.
Yeah. There is something here that was kind of weird. The HuffPo, which is where we got the article from, well, it's from Yahoo, but they got it from HuffPo, I guess. HuffPo reached out to Montreal's police department, which declined to comment on the case, but sent a statement detailing Montel's legal options. Meanwhile, Mola's fight for the right to sing along with 90s dance hits isn't getting much sympathy from his wife. She told me, if it was for singing, I would have given you a ticket for $300. So apparently his wife is not a very big fan of singing, that's all. So
I guess.
Maybe he was just a really bad singer. Although there's supposed to be a TV show out there made by Apple,
Mhm.
karaoke carpool, something like that. I mean, I've seen ads for it, but I've never actually, seen any of the shows. I know they get celebrities and they put on a song on their iPhone and they start playing and they start singing while the show's being done. So it would be funny to have them go up to Canada and wherever this guy was from and just start driving around and start singing in the car. I would love to see them get pulled over and have this get a lot more exposure,
Oh yeah. Oh, believe me, that would be it would be on every news station imagined.
Yeah. Yes, it would.
While we are poking at your news, you can poke us at Facebook and Twitter, or poke us with an email at ppapodcast@gmail.com, or leave us a message at 662-709-PPAP. Join us live on YouTube/Packard Pokesat on Friday nights at 9 p.m. Central Time. Be part of the conversation by live chatting with us during the show. Enjoy the show? Help support us by becoming a monthly patron at patreon.com/Packard Pokesat. Or look awesome by buying something at cafepress.com/Packard Pokesat. No money, no problem. You can help us by sharing the show with friends and rate us on iTunes and Stitcher. For everyone that shares and rates us, you kick ass.
The Atheists
The Bible.
and No Wardrobe, the podcast.
Wait a minute. No wardrobe? You mean we're going to be naked while we do this?
Well, seeing how I'm an atheist and I'm reading the Bible, and since clothes are flammable,
Fire! Fire! Fire!
I thought it might be a good idea to take them all off first.
Naked or not, follow along as we read, analyze, and try to keep you from falling asleep as we go through this boring-ass book.
Find us on iTunes, Stitcher, and Spreaker. Who knows? We may even be on YouTube someday. So I've got another story here. Speaking of singing and everything like that, we lost another celebrity. Fats Domino passed away at age 89. If you're not familiar who Fats Domino is, he wrote the songs and he sang them anyway. Blueberry Hill, Ain't That a Shame? Now, he was one of the first 10 honorees named in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, and Rolling Stone Records likened him to Benjamin Franklin, the beloved old man from Revolutionary Movement. They said, "We've lowered the flag and we're playing his music all day," said Greg Harris, CEO of Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. He said, "Artifacts including manuscripts of Walking to New Orleans, I'm Walking, and Blueberry Hill were on display." Now, the thing is here that when he was in New Orleans, he was down there during Katrina, and they weren't sure that he survived it at first because they didn't hear from him. But it turns out that him and his family had got out, and they were rescued by a boat from his home. But they had lost 3 pianos and a dozen gold and platinum records with a lot of other memorabilia. So all the memorabilia, well, not quite all of it, but quite a bit of it was lost because of that storm. So who knows what kind of things that were lost to history because of that storm.
The whole house was probably taken. People were on their roofs trying to get to safety.
Yeah.
Because there was so much water.
Yeah. And to lose a piece of history like that to a storm like that, it's saddening. It's very saddening.
Yeah, definitely is.
So, yeah, I didn't know this about him. He apparently quit school at age 14 and he worked in a factory while playing and singing in the local juke joints. The juke joints, that's what they're called, juke joints, during the nighttime. Back in 1949, Domino was playing at the Hideaway Club for $3 a week when he was signed by Imperial Record Company. $3 a week. Could you imagine? Well, I mean, 1949, $3 a week. I don't know I don't know. Is that really good money back then? I don't know. I don't know. Maybe that's the equivalency about $20 a night, today, in today's money, maybe.
That's like my allowance when I was like 10.
No kidding. He recorded his first song, The Fat Man, in the back of the tiny French Quarter recording studio. They called me the Fat Man because I weigh 200 pounds, he sang. All the girls, they love me because I know my way around. So
I did not know that he passed.
Yeah, he just passed away today. So
okay.
So yeah, there's that, unfortunately. Now I have another story here, unless you had another story that you wanted to bring up. Matt?
Here's the caption: "Idiots of the century swim in baited croc trap."
Yeah, that's almost a Darwin Award.
Oh, definitely. Well, and actually, this is from Sydney, Australia, so this is going to be good.
Yeah, the Darwin Award doesn't care where you're living at the time. So
Yeah. Well, anyways, there's a group of men seen swimming inside a baited crocodile trap in Australia near where a woman was recently eaten were blasted as idiots of the century. Photos posted on Facebook showed the four men clambering on a floating trap set near a marina in Port Douglas in northern Queensland state and even posing inside it.
really, why would you go into a crocodile trap and then pose inside it?
I don't know. This is what it says here. I guess that's why they're called idiots of the century.
Yeah.
You know?
It says the beast that took the 79-year-old less than 2 weeks ago was trapped and human remains were found inside, but plenty of other crocodiles inhabit the rivers and seas in the area. Douglas Shire Mayor Julia Luth said that she was stunned at their stupidity. Yeah, I got absolutely gobsmacked. This is incredibly stupid and dangerous behavior. I'm wondering if these fellows are vying for Idiots of the Year award or Idiots of the Century award. Queensland's Environment Minister Stephen Miles also weighed in, tweeting, "Seriously?" He typed in SRSLY. Seriously? The meat we put in these traps is bait for crocodiles. Don't swim in them. It's stupid and illegal. I really hope that they got fined. I hope they find out these guys, who they are, and actually, put them in jail. Now, there are fines in Aussie money is $15,000, or in U.S. it's $11,700 for interfering with a crocodile trap.
Well, good. Talk about stupidity. Jeez.
Yes, that's beyond the pale of stupidity.
Yeah, it is. I mean, it's. I'm sorry. I would not even go near anything like that.
No, anybody in their right mind certainly wouldn't go right near anything like that. Of course, these people obviously are not in their right minds.
Well, apparently not.
Speaking of people that were not in their right minds, one more story here. Settlement proposed in North Carolina transgender bathroom lawsuit, which I think is finally over with. The transgender people who would be allowed to use public restrooms in North Carolina finally that match their gender identity under a new settlement filed on Wednesday that aims to resolve the federal lawsuit over the state's widely criticized bathroom law. So this goes back from October 18th. It's a little old, but no one's talking about it. I have not heard word one.
I haven't heard one thing about it either.
Yeah. So it's like they just made sure that the story was told, but, didn't give it much fanfare because there's been a lot of hype going on around there now. Now, the consent decree proposed by Governor Roy Cooper, the American Civil Liberties Union, and transgender people who sued the state would remove some of the law's harmful effects, civil rights groups said. The judge in the case must sign off on the proposal before it takes effect. North Carolina has been mired in litigation about transgender rights since the Republican lawmakers enacted the law in 2016 that restricted bathroom choice in state-run buildings to the sex of the people's birth certificates rather than their gender identity. I remember seeing a video where the cops went to arrest a woman who was in the woman's bathroom. She is a woman. She has some masculine features, but she was a woman. She's like, "Why are you arresting me? I'm going to go use the bathroom." Well, you're like, "Well, you're using the bathroom that's not for your gender." She goes, "I'm a girl. I am a total girl. I wanted to use the bathroom." And they didn't believe her, and they arrested her and took her away because
I never heard that.
Yeah, there's video of that.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh man. And she was born a woman.
Yeah, she was born a woman, and she
female.
She was born a woman. She was female.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, she looked like most teenagers nowadays that you can't tell what their gender is because everybody dresses the same. Mm-hmm. So that's fine. And there's really nothing wrong with it. So, but someone called the cops on her thinking that she was a guy, that was transgender and was using the ladies' bathroom. So the cops got called in and they had 2 guy cops there and a female cop there. So and they arrested her for using a woman's bathroom while being a woman, just because she didn't look like a woman completely. What somebody's idea of what a woman would look like.
Well, I mean, it is hard to tell. I mean, well, I don't know. In some ways it's hard to tell. In some ways it's not, when a person is transgendered.
Right.
So
you're right. It is ridiculous. And the thing is that this is exactly why a bill like that was even introduced, is just based on pure stupidity.
Well, it's not just stupidity, it's ignorance.
Yes.
It's total disregard for humanity.
Cooper on Wednesday also signed an executive order that bars state agencies and those who have contracts with the state from discriminating on the basis of gender identity or expression. Activists were pleased by both actions, but they said they would continue to fight for non-discrimination protections for gay, lesbian, bisexual, and transgender people in the state. Nothing can make up for the cruel and senseless attack transgender people have faced in North Carolina, but I am hopeful that the court will agree to clarify the law so we can live our lives in less fear, said Jonquin Kanakino, a transgender man in the lead plaintiff in the lawsuit. So Tammy Fitzgerald's executive director of North Carolina Values Coalition, which supported HB 2's bill's bathroom restrictions, criticized the consent decree and executive order. Okay, so she's one of those religious nuts that's like, yeah, we got to keep them out because got to protect the little girls. What about the little boys? Don't care about them, apparently.
Well, that's that's their biggest cry about this whole thing, about the transgender bathroom issues, because it's all about, oh well, what if it's a male posing as a woman or a woman posing as a man, type thing, and maybe they're child molesters or something. It's like,
that's the but think of the children excuse.
The chances of anything happening are like practically slim to none.
Right, exactly. And usually that stuff that happens like that usually is because it's somebody that they know. It's not happening in the bathroom. I mean, that's an assault at that point. It doesn't, and it's illegal. It's no one dresses up like the opposite sex to just go to the bathroom to hit on the opposite gender. That's just not a thing. You're going in the bathroom to use the bathroom. Matter of fact, it was either earlier this year or late last year where there was a bombing in Chicago at a local Target where they blew up the women's bathroom, or there was the men's bath. No, they blew up the women's bathroom because they were protesting because Target came out and said their customers could use whatever bathroom that they felt their gender identity was. And it was really stupid because they just forced everybody to use one bathroom at that point. So they just completely defeated their own arguments by doing that. You know, if you blow up one bathroom, there's still a whole other bathroom there. So you circumvented your own stuff there, basically.
Well, my sister-in-law refuses to shop at Target because of the transgendered thing going on with Target. Letting them use the whatever bathroom they want.
I don't go to Target that often, except for the fact is that it's expensive.
Well, yeah, I don't really shop at Target, and there's one right down the street from me. So
yeah, me too. I got a Target right down the street from me as well, and we call it Target La Boutique. So the prices are pretty expensive. I mean, I have gotten stuff there once in a great while, and I can't find it anywhere else. I mean
Walmart's my choice of store. Usually.
Yeah, mine as well. Except for the fact is, I look at it this way: if I can get it at Target and I don't have to travel 10 miles out of my way to get it, I'm saving gas money. The money I would have spent on gas, I'm using for the item. So if it's something I really need, or if it's like late at night when I know Target will be closed, then I will go to Walmart.
Right.
It's a cost benefit type thing, So anyway, I want to thank everybody that came to the show, popped in and out randomly. I apologize for the technical glitches tonight. These things happen. So if you were watching and drinking for every technical glitch, you should be totally snockered by now. I'm just saying. So, and if you're not snockered, you will rewatch the video and then go back and start drinking heavily. But in the meantime, if you'd like to make a donation to the show and not in alcohol, you can go to paypal.me/PackardPokesat and donate directly to me, which would be great. It helps keep the lights on in here and me in a nice warm house in the wintertime, and the internet flowing, which is also helpful to keep me online. Or you can go to patreon.com/PackardPokesat, where you can pay a per episode donation. And the way this show turned out, I am not going to charge for this one. So you're getting a freebie this month because this was a total crap show. I'm sorry, it was. And that's not our fault. That's just technical stuff. So I'm not going to charge anybody for a show that I wouldn't want to pay for myself. So there's that. We'll be back on Friday with our Okay, Let's Talk. What we're going to talk about, I don't know yet, but we have a few things we've discussed talking about. Maybe it'll be something about Halloween since it's coming up. Who knows? So we'll see you on Friday at 9 p.m. Central Time. Good night, everybody.
Good night.
And that's a wrap.